Okay, so unfortunately a lot of stuff has not changed. I still don't have my header material, and now they're saying it's going to ship on Monday. That's in a couple days, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully by next weekend I'll have that. We will probably do a little bit of welding today, putting together the back rack and setting up the table. I still have to set up the table to where the plates are underneath this, so this way I have more usable surface area. So I'm probably going to have to do that first. Hopefully that's going to go smoothly. I got some cleanup to do here, just some organizing, putting things away. And I'm going to take the camera off in a minute, and we're going to walk outside and we're going to look at what the Monday surprise was from 2 weeks ago, but it actually happened this past Monday, and one of our upcoming projects. And I'll talk a little bit about what appears to have been done and what I am going to do. So let's take a walk outside. Okay, and there she is. It's a 1949 Ford shoebox. There she is there. She's got the V8 flathead. She's got the 3 on the tree. If you notice, the headlights have already been Frenched. And obviously I'm going to definitely check up in here that it's mostly metal and not just fiberglass or Bondo or some hack job. Let's see if I can get my hand in here to open this. It's hard to do one-handed. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. It's a little too hard right now. So for the most part she's clean. And again, the handles are shaved. And it looks like it's a good job. Glass is out of it. I'm going to have to make some temporary glass. I do have it outside right now. The back trunk was shaved. I will be chopping it 4 inches. And the hardest part of the chop is going to be creating the new sail panels. And as you can see in there, see a little shifter on the column. 3-speed. You can see 3 pedals down there. And that glass has definitely seen better days. This glass has never seen day because it doesn't exist. Dash looks good. Everything looks pretty clean in here. It's got a kind of like a velvet seat. Kind of cool looking actually. Possibly reusable if I could clean it good, because I am a clean freak when it comes to cars. And lots of parts here. There's a vintage air system that came with it, kind of pieces of it, I guess you could say. And this here, we've got a bunch of parts in here, so we'll be categorizing all this today. Going through it, I already got the title inside. I did verify it's a 49. And I need 2 hands to do this. And for now, the trunk is just basically laying there. And everything is going to get a popper. Everything's going to be electronic with some type of a manual backup. And what's really cool is, if you looked in the trunk when I just opened it, you'll see that all the garnish moldings are there. And all the trim that I want to use are here, and it looks really good. All the door trim, you know, it's really clean. And even the side trim is pretty straight. Got a little bit of rot down at the bottom of the doors where you would expect it, but it looks like somebody started this and just never finished. Love that front end. I like the Merc front end a little better, but it is what it is. And the skirts are on there. It's a pretty cool looking car. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a farther side shot. And it appears to have air shocks in the back. I haven't located where to put air yet, but that's why I sit in low. And we may make it sit lower. We might channel the frame and get it to sit on the ground. We'll see. So that was the Monday surprise. We'll be keeping the split windshield after I chop it. I think that's cool looking. And back window will be full length but laid down. And like I said, the sail panels are going to be the biggest problem. Well, not problem, I should say. The biggest challenge. And that's it. Alright, let's go back in. Let's take a quick look at the engine. There you go. Ford Flathead. And looks to be all original. It is original to the car. And based on looking back there, it looks like it does have the cast-in bell housing. I can't really tell. It looks like it does. I could be wrong, but it's a little hard to see. We do have some hackism going on here. Like to start the car, you got to push a button. That's been bypassed. I noticed that there's a fuel pump hanging under the car, and the fuel pump here, if you can see it, is basically not working. So again, all simple stuff. Once I get into this, I probably most likely will pull the motor, pull the heads, and we're probably going to go with a 6-pack on here in the Edelbrock heads. So this way we can start cleaning things up. It was transferred to a alternator instead of the old generator. That's a plus. And for the most part, everything appears to be where it originally should be. Got a little moon eyes gauge there. Oil pressure, I would assume. Let's take a look. No, actually, I'm sorry. That's the temperature gauge. And we got some hackism going here with this cable. So I ended up actually pulling the cable and just kind of getting it out of the way. It was laying basically almost touching. It actually was touching. I'm surprised that nothing happened. It was touching the positive and negative. So like I said, we got some hackism going on over here. The wiring, whoever did the wiring did butcher it, but it does start right up and it does actually run good. So I can't see too many bad things, but there's a lot of stuff we need to change here. We got to modernize it. If we're going to make it a driver and we're going to drop it to the ground, we have to modernize it. We're going to have to put in an independent front suspension, or just a better one. We might be able to update what we have here, but I'm not so sure about that. So lots of holes, and most likely we're going to use that vintage air system or another system, depending, because if I'm going to cruise in this, I do need to have air conditioning. And we do have a decent radiator. Seems to be a quality radiator. The welds look really nice. I'm not sure what brand it is. I haven't seen any branding on it. And again, should be a fun project. And I got the best of both worlds with this. I got the 49 that I wanted. Actually, I wanted the Merc, but you know what? The Ford shoebox is cool too. And I got the Flathead. And now a couple things that I wanted, I was able to obtain in the last couple of months. The Hemi, first gen, which is what I wanted, because everybody's got a 426. And I always wanted a Flathead, and here it is. So these are a couple of future projects. If I had more room, they would be projects that would be lined up, and every week something would get done on one. As I'm waiting on parts for one, I could be working on another, but I'm limited on room. But again, it's a pretty decent car and extremely clean. I looked underneath it. It's really clean underneath. So that's about it, guys. I'm going to get to categorizing the parts that came with it, and we'll do a little more filming shortly. Well, that was pretty quick. I cleaned out the back of the car. A good amount of sheet metal. They gave me all of the bottom pieces, you know, less the door pieces. But the door on the driver's side looks like it might have been done already. And on the passenger side, it does need to be a little bit of work done to it. So a small patch panel may actually solve that. But the door panels were in there, and kind of ratty. I mean, I'm not going to use them. But at least I have an established pattern when I go to make the ones that I'm going to use. It gives me something to go by. It just makes it easier than creating a whole template. At least, you know, from what I saw right now. What else? I got the rockers, and it looks like we got rockers back to front. It looks like it might have been one long rocker, but there were 3 other pieces. I'm not sure. So I'll have to investigate what those are. It's kind of humid and nasty out there, and I'm asthmatic, so I didn't want to spend too much time, so I just basically carried everything to the back of the shed and put it in storage for now. So I also found 2 brand new side glass, not for the back, for the front doors, and the sail panel glass. Those I'm probably going to have to, well, we got to chop it first, so we're going to make all new glass anyway, except for the back window, which if it cleans up good, we leave it. If it doesn't clean up well, we'll find a new one or have a new one cut. Windshield obviously has got to be cut out of flat panels. And, you know, it's going to be hopefully a fairly easy project. Like I said, the only issue that I'll have, because I've never had to do it before, is to make the sail panels. I'm confident there'll be a lot of trial and error, but I'm fairly confident I'll get through it. You know, not as a seasoned professional on those, so I've never done them, but I'm fairly confident I'll get through them and they'll look good. Because it's got to look good, or, you know, I'll keep trying until it looks perfect, because I'm not going to have, you know, a half-assed job on a car, especially something like that. So my next issue is the coffin car. Coffin car headers have to be done before I can tear it down, and that's really kind of screwing me. You know, I can't really do anything because I got to take the coffin off, but I need the coffin on in order to orientate the headers properly and make them look right. And I don't want to guess at something like that, because then I got to cut it out later and move it, and why create more work? Unfortunately, we're in a holding pattern. Nobody has what I want. No other company has them available either. And, you know, everything is ready to ship, but nothing's ready to ship. That's just a BS line just for you to buy it. Anyway, we're at the waiting game now, so we might as well wait. I have the lift ramps I'll bring in probably this week, and I'll get the lift going. And then we'll be shuffling things around like we always do, because we have no room. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to kind of tighten up on neatness, especially in this area here where I kind of pushed everything. And the back corner that you can't see has a few things back there, like the tire machine, the press is there, my Snap-on video game is in here. Why it's in here, I don't know. I guess it was the only place to put it at the time. And the welding table is only in here till I do the work, and then it could go back into storage. That I don't need laying around here, because anything with a flat surface becomes a bench, and that's an example. This is how you create messes. It just happens, no matter how neat you are, and I'm a fairly neat person, it just happens. And being that this is like a little part-time gig I do just on the weekends, because I work all week, you know, when you close up here on Sunday, it's just like, I'll clean it up next week. Next week sometimes comes, sometimes it doesn't. But I think, being that I'm on a holding pattern, I'm going to try to get things neatened up here, try to finish up that table. And as I'm doing the table, I'll bring you in on it. I'll get a lot of the prep stuff ready, so this way I can show you final installation. And, you know, I can show you how I drilled it and all that too. But I got to clean that up. Perfect example of what I mean of everything becomes a bench. Let's zoom in there. And there's the table. Not all of that belongs on there. So yes, it became a bench. And any flat surface becomes a bench, and anybody that is in a shop environment or does this kind of stuff in their garage knows that flat surfaces are always benches. Always. Very rarely do you see a flat surface that's actually available. You might see a little section available, but you know, that's really not the right thing, but it is what it is. So some will get it, some won't, but it is what it is. All right, let me continue on some cleanup here, and I'll keep doing little segments here and there. All right, so just putting these plates, just doing these plates on the welding table. So basically, we're going to match the other side, and I'm going to put it right there. And we're going to count, make sure we're the same amount of holes in. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4 in the 5th hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th hole. So we're going to put the plate up here first to use as a guide. We have that positioning it so the table is set. I already took the time to clamp everything down. It makes the table level. And this spaces it so our 2 inches are consistent throughout. And this is a 5/16 drill bit. And what I'm going to do is, I already did these. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark it so I get a center mark. And I'm going to switch my drill down to a 1/4 inch so I can bite through it quicker. And this metal is pretty hard, I have to say. And I do got to sharpen some of these drill bits or replace them. It's biting through, it's just really hard steel. Alright, so we went through with the 1/4 inch. Now, let's do our final pass with the 5/16. Ooh, look at that, I'm making a mess. I'm losing all my hardware here. Ooh, that drill bit's kind of warm. Okay, so let's do our final pass with the 5/16. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to move this out of the way. Get some of that out of the way. Usually I use the vacuum, but it's way over there. So I got to drag it here to do it. And we're going to countersink. Now preferably I would have used a 5/16 countersink, but nobody had one. So we're going to use a 1/2 inch. Same thing, it's 88 degrees. Let's just check those, and they do go in flush. That one is flush. I'm moving the table around. Hopefully I'm still in frame. I believe I am. Yes, I am. And those all sit flush. Okay, so now the other side's already done. So we're going to let's move everything out of the way here. Let me get my little toothbrush. Just want to get everything out of the way here. So I was going to put these a little farther out, but there's a bolt that was in the way there. So I decided to put them a little farther in. Now I could actually buy another table and add. And I could continue to add using these plates. And these are really nice plates. I just can't remember where I bought them from. Okay, so everything lines up there. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop this in. Drop all four. And clumsy me keeps yanking on that. And then we're going to grab one of these magnetics. And we're just going to go ahead and just put it here. And what that's going to do is This can allow one of our screw downs to actually retain the plate for us temporarily while we put the hardware on it. Well, okay, we're all in, and we'll screw that down just to give us an extra hand. And that basically will hold the plate for us. And what we're going to do is just hand tight these. Then we got to put these back in to help align it and make sure we retain our alignment. Because it can move a tiny bit and you don't want it to. Okay. Lock washer, flat washer. Yeah, a little tricky to... Oop, I dropped that one. Well, let's get another one. Okay. We're tight there. We're going to have to find that because we're limited on hardware here. They only give you exactly what you need. Okay, let's get this one done. I got other hardware if I lost that one, but it shouldn't be too hard to find. Now that I said that, it'll probably take all day. Let's see, where did it go? And of course, it went somewhere where we're not going to find it. Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay, so basically we could take this out now, and I don't have to hold the piece underneath because it's magnetic. And I'll take that out and get it out of my way. Put that back there. Put that back there. And now I do want to put these back in because you want to make sure that you're lined up. And they go in nice and snug, which is a good thing, which means you know you're going to be good. And then, just a matter of getting your ratchet in there. I would use my electric ratchet, but I got the drawer blocked at the moment where my other tool cart is. I've been moving stuff around here just so I could get this table put together, and I did clean up yesterday, which was kind of a feat in itself. And the countersinking helps because it cleans up the top. There's a little tiny lump there because of the head of the bolt. I got a switcheroo here. And that's all. One solid table now. Look at that, I'm shaking the camera. So it's basically one solid table. You can still utilize these holes. As you see, now that it's properly lined up, you come out. This one here is a little hard, but it's not the alignment, it's just these. I received them brand new, but they had a little bit of rust on them. But you can see they go in there nice and tight, and that's what we want. So at this point, I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to do my cleaning, and we now have a solid table, and I keep hitting the camera. Alright guys, so let me get cleaned up, and I'm not feeling that great today, but I'm going to try to get some of the welding done, but I do have to vacuum all these metal shavings here because these things are kind of dangerous. They'll rip you up pretty good. Alright, so this is one way to set your shop at home up. I wouldn't recommend this for everyday welding, if you're actually a welder, and I'm sure you already know that if you're a welder. But if you're moving towards the welding career to begin with, everybody's got to begin somewhere. For $185 per table, I think, this is a good deal here. You invest in the casters so you can move it around. These plates were fairly inexpensive. I want to say they were $40 tops. And I could actually add another table where if I had the room, I would add 2 more tables and I would be happy with this setup. I'm not putting anything heavy on it. It's just a way to have that extra hand to help you hold things together. So this way, when you're welding, nothing's moving on you. And also when it cools, you have it all clamped down. So once it cools, it's not going to start warping and, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. That does happen if you don't have things retained and you're putting a lot of heat in something. So let me get cleaned up and we'll be back. Thank you. So here's the purpose of the table for those that don't know. Basically, it's going to hold down what I made here. Basically, this is going to be on the back of the car. And I do need it to be square. So when we measure it for square, there to here, we're at about 41 1/4. And we're at 41 1/4. So basically we're square. This isn't like rocket science, so it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, to the last millimeter, but it does have to be square. So it's got to be, pretty much on the money. So for the most part, we're there. So let's just get some things out of our way here. And what I did here is I used this as my backstop, and I put these 2 pieces here. Then I locked that piece down. Also, I put a piece of tape here to center my table, and I centered this to my mark on the table. I did the same up front. I got a piece of tape here because I don't want to start writing on my table. And I made my center mark, and I centered the front piece, which is actually the back piece to my mark on the table. And these here, I just had to knock out a 45 in there. They're going to be on top because I do want them on top. I don't want them 45 to where it was like a picture frame. I do want them on top for just a little bit of extra security. I didn't want the picture frame. I mean, it would have been better looking, but you're never going to see this. This is going to get covered. But I wanted some kind of structural, so I went on top. And I 45'd them. So basically, I'll drop a bead here. I'm going to drop a bead. I could drop another bead at the bottom. Once I get the top done, I can flip it over and add a little weld to it. Again, it's critical, but not that critical. So the weld here, the weld in here, and then just kind of clean up the outside here, weld that, because there's little tiny gaps here, not much. But we grind it all down, make it appear as one piece, and then we can scuff it and just give it a quick paint job so it doesn't rust, because as you can see, it's brand new metal, but we do have a little bit of rust down here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and set up the welder. We'll drop some tacks on here, and we'll be golden. So this is why I needed this table. As you can see, I needed the 2 tables because one table just wouldn't have done it. It would have been hanging over. It just wouldn't have been right. This is a much better way to work. It's just the right way to work. And again, I didn't spend a lot of money on the table because it's not something I'm welding on every single solitary day. We make some pieces here and there. So for the investment, $185 2 times, $40 for brackets. All this hold downs and all these things come with it. These bigger ones, I actually purchased from Amazon. I think they were like $30, $40 for 20 of them. And I think I'm in good shape. And I got tons of these from my first table. I got more, and I have those actually in storage and easily accessible if I need them. So we're in good shape with fixtures, and I'm sure there's going to be a couple of different fixtures I'm going to want to get as time goes by. But as of right now, I think we're good. So let me start setting up the welder, and we'll do a quick welding on camera. Okay, so I got everything set up. Welds are set. My mask on, gloves on, and what we're going to do is we're just going to tack. And then we can weld off table, because I don't want to hurt my table. Even though it's not $1 million table, I still don't want to hurt it. So we're going to just start right here with a tack. Oh, you know what I did? Or didn't do? I forgot to turn my gas on. Let me just reposition the camera. Maybe I could go back here a little more so it's not in my way, but I can still give you the shot. Just to give you a general idea of what I'm doing here. I can't really bring you right up on the welds because I don't have a screen for my camera. But okay, let's go do this again. That's that. That corner is tapped. See, starts to throw stuff on my table and it's going to hurt it. We're good there. Let's head over to this side. Let's do the same. So we're good there. And I mean, I could weld the complete piece on the table. Like I said, just don't want to hurt it. You know, this is a cheap table and I should have used it. Do another one here. Okay, and let's come over here. Another one. Another one here. Just moved on me. Just moved on me. Well, didn't move enough for me to worry about a tiny bit. We'll be alright. Okay. So basically, we're take this helmet off. It's even though I got AC in here, it gets hot when you start doing this. So basically, at this point, we can undo it. It's tacked. It's not going anywhere. With this one here, I think we're going to we're going to leave. So basically, these can move. And then we can see it's one solid piece now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld it off the table. So like this. And just to kind of just give me a little assistance in holding, we'll keep this one here. And it just keeps it from moving around, that's all. So I'm going to go ahead and let me suit up again. And then we can flip it and weld it also. That looks really good. Like I said, we have little gaps here. That's how you saw that little pop. That takes care of that. Just take a look at the monitor. Yeah, you can kind of see me. Okay, we're good there. Let's get in here. We can do this one from out here. Hard for me to see. Yeah, it's a little bit there. A little bit grinded. We'll get everything looking like it's one piece of metal. Alright, so and again, that's going to hold us. Oops. It helps if you put the ground on. A little forgetful today. Looks really good. cardboard box there. A little hot, first a little hole in there, so I filled it. And that's it, we're solid. Let's see if I should put anything at the bottom. I guess we could do a little tie weld in here. We don't really need to hold it down. Well, actually I can hold it down like this if I wanted to. Right on the edge here. Just so if I bump into it, it doesn't move. Alright. Alright, just a little straight run here. Looks so good. That looks good. Yeah, I made the welds a little heavy because I'm going to grind them down, so I want to make sure I have some material on there, you know, when I grind. It's hard for me to see behind this mask. I should have put a light out here. All right. Now it's going to be time for the flap wheel and some sanding. I believe I have a... Do I have a flap wheel here? If not, I got to go get one. Alright, I'm going to go off camera for a minute. Alright, let's do a little bit of grinding. Alright, so basically all I did was just take the crown off. None of this is going to be visible, so I'm not going to do a perfect grinding job. I want to leave some weld on there. I don't want to take it all off, but I do want to just kind of clean it up a little bit. Alright. And as you can see, it's one solid piece now. This just helps me hold it, and I should really put my gloves on. But sometimes with the grinder, I'm always worried about the glove being caught. But then again, it's only a flat disc. It can't really, it'll hurt you, but not that bad. All right, let me do this. These corners are going to be a little harder. I do have corner sanders, but like I said, I've sheet metal in all this, so. I'm not going to bother grinding the insides because, like I said, this is all getting covered. Oop. I'm yanking on it. I'm going to end up bending things here. I mean, it's 3/16 steel, but you can still bend it. I just want to get these corners cleaned up. And again, just keeps it from slipping around as I put a little bit of pressure on here. I do got to make one more, but obviously I'll do it off camera. There's no sense seeing the same thing over and over. So basically this one is done for right now. I still have a little more to do to it. We do have to add some metal in here. So this one will cut a piece of sheet metal. Probably like an 18 gauge. We probably really should bead roll it before we actually put it in here, but guess what? I don't really have a bead roller. Maybe I'll have to get one, and this way, you know, by next weekend, hopefully it'll be here, and I could, you know, bead roll the piece that goes here. Not only will it make the part a little more rigid and a little more structural, but also give it a little bit of a decent look. Most of it's going to be covered up with the fuel tank, because the fuel tank is basically going to be here, and that's what this is for, really. It's a support for the fuel tank. So, and it goes on the back of the car, and we just got to figure out how to put it on the back of the car. I haven't made that decision yet, but I got to make one more for the top. So this way, and then we'll put some pieces in here. Well, we're going to put some inserts. We're going to end up with about 3 inserts, and I'm going to do some spider webbing. I'm waiting for the material to arrive, and the material is nothing more than 3/8 3/8 rebar, and it's kind of got that little rough look, kind of like spider web, and I'll use that. And then I have little spiders that we're going to add to the scene, and I have them here someplace. Let me find them. Not really crazy that they're that they're brass. I just want to make sure you can see. Yep, they're brass. But you know, we'll put some kind of paint on there. Maybe we'll make them like a lime green or something that you'll actually see them, because the webs obviously are going to be black. So I got 4 of these. I have 4 of these guys. So hopefully, well, they're not going to stand on their own, but hopefully that'll look pretty cool. And maybe we'll make one, because this has got to open also, when I make the top piece. Maybe one will be the handle, and we'll just use that to open it. So we could access the gas tank to fill it up and to do any minor work or whatever. So I think this is going to hold the gas tank. I think I'm going to put my fuel pump here, and I'm going to do a return right for the fuel pump. They make a fitting, Holley makes a fitting, where I can actually return here instead of running another return line from the engine. So we're probably going to go that route. And that's it. So this first piece is made. I'm going to make the other one, and that'll be that. And hopefully I got a little more content for you today. So stand by. So basically that's where that piece we just made is going to go. And that's going to be the base for the fuel tank. And it looks like it fits perfectly in between the raised edges there on each side. And that'll help center it up, it'll help secure it, and we can weld it right to there. We could bolt it, but I think we'll weld it. And it's going to work out good. I'm going to start setting up to do the other, do the top section now. And that's about it, guys. Let's see, can I zoom out a little? And that's how it goes. Alright, so everything's welded up, everything's ground down. All the corners look like it's one piece. I didn't really get crazy grinding down on the inside here because there's no reason to. So the next step is to get this set up so I can start running my rebar and start creating a spider web. So we need to mirror these. I'm just not sure. I kind of got to get the gas tank here too, I think, in order to come up with my sizing and all that. Let's see here. And here. Okay, so it looked like my battery kicked out on me. Fresh battery, and we'll continue. So I was in the process of setting this one up when that battery died. So basically I mirrored it. I have my stops here, so we're both in line this way. I have the clamp here, I have the stops here, so I know I'm square to the table. And one thing that we do need to do is, when I measure here, I have 15 inches outside to outside. I have the same there, because I already measured it. So I would have to come here, and I would have to put a piece in here. I have to put a piece in here to give us that 15 there and there, so this way we're square. So I think this is how we're going to do the spider webs. So basically, I could do the webs, I could start here at the bottom, and I'm just going to kind of go across, and then start my curves. So that's going to be a little bit challenging, because I got to figure out how I'm going to bend the rebar and get it circular. I have a bunch of stuff here I could do that with, but and the 3/8 isn't so bad. It should bend pretty easy, even if I got hit with a little heat or something. But so this is going to be our next stage here. There's nothing I can do because I got to wait for the rebar. So I'm waiting for rebar. I'm waiting for the headers for the exhaust, and so I'm just kind of bouncing just to keep things going, keep some of this content going, and you know, just keep you guys interested, and you know, hopefully you guys start a project and have some fun with it. So basically, I'm good here. What I'd like to do, and I'm going to have to do a little research, and I need to purchase some stops that I could technically just kind of, you know, put here, and then be able to turn it and just kind of keep this pushed up against the front stops. I mean, right now it's working the way I have it, but it would be cool to have some definite positive stops. Something very similar to this here, except going this way. So, if I look hard enough, there might be something here I could invent like that, but I'm not seeing it right now. So I'm going to do a little research on, find a couple more holders for the table. So this way I could do some pressure that way, and I can start locking things a lot better. And this way, if I'm working here, or if I happen to tap it for some reason, it doesn't kick out of square, and I don't notice it. Right now, we're solid up against these stops. We're solid to the table with the brackets. We're square back to back using these stops. Well, we have nothing at this end. But I said, it is working. But it would be nice to have something over here that, I could put in and then push up against there and just give me that nice positive feel, firm feel. And again, up here, we're just gonna have to create some spreaders to keep me consistent at the same measurement from bottom to top. And we'll start laying out our webs. And once that's all done, we're gonna run webs here, 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 and I think where I go up against the car, I think we're just going to put a piece of sheet metal there. I don't think we're going to get too crazy there. And prior to the webbing, I'm just thinking about this now. Prior to the webbing, I should, this is going to be the top, this is the bottom. So I should really do the bottom piece before I do the web there. Yeah, I guess that's it. Alright guys, I guess that's about it for this week. There's not much more I could do. I'm on a parts standstill. I'm going to start with some ideas for the 49. I have the 27 or 28 Phaeton that we got to work on. A lot of projects. We got a lot of projects coming up. I'm just not sure in what order I'm going to do them. Still need to get the truck off the flatbed. Just haven't had time to play with that. The weather wasn't the greatest, and we have some pretty brutal hot days, and I'm asthmatic, so I can't really play out there safely. On cooler days, no problem, but on real super hot, dry days, I can't. So, so the biggest thing today was we got these done, and the most exciting part is we got our table done, and I'm really impressed at how this thing came out. And our consistency throughout with the holes. The plates are fantastic. I'll try to figure out where I bought those plates and mention it in next week's video. And I guess that's about it. Enjoy whatever weekend part you got left here, and we'll see you next week.